from what I understand, and again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but basically what the plot is, and I actually can't spoil anything because I haven't made it that far yet, but it's only Woody, Buzz, Rex, and Ham. Everybody else is missing, and I guess that's part of the plot, is you're going to go try to... So... So, what I can tell you about Kingdom Hearts 3 is if you've never played it before, definitely watch the movies to get the storylines down, so you'll at least have an idea of what's happening. But it is fun. It's a hack and slash. They fixed Donald. Donald actually heals you in this game. He doesn't suck. Oh, that was one of my other favorite memes, was the meme of when he meets, because I know there's a Big Hero 6 part in the game, and it's a comic of Sora meeting Hero and Baymax, and he's just like, yeah, if you're feeling sick, Baymax activates and takes care of you, and Sora looks at Donald and goes, you hear that? That's so helpful! Poor Donald. Only other thing I can say about Kingdom Hearts 3 is the cutscenes are way too freaking long. And even though I generally have 2 hours before work 3 days out of the week now, I can't play Kingdom Hearts 3 before I go to my job, because if I do, I'll get stuck in a 30-minute cutscene, and I'll be sitting there watching the clock get ever closer. I'm like, I need to go to work.
Dolan Plus.
Yeah, y'all got to carve out some time if you want to enjoy Kingdom Hearts 3. You got to carve out some time. But like I said, definitely worth checking out. Even if you're not, if you're a Disney fan, you should definitely try it, because I know it's also got references to Tangled, Frozen, Wreck-It Ralph, Big Hero 6, and I know there's other stuff that I haven't gotten to. I've also, because people have been really good about the non-spoiler stuff, so I know there's a lot more to discover, and the worlds look amazing. I mean, seeing Kingdom Hearts in the playing like the first game, even a remastered version from the PlayStation 2, and then looking at it what it looks like now on PlayStation 4 is a crazy difference. But it's a lot of fun. And I'm going to play more of it this afternoon when we're all done with this podcast.
Oh, dog.
But there's only one thing left to do, and that's to figure out which one of you are going to get some points and who I get to bury.
Oh, it's time for Points or Consequences. This week's game is, since we're doing rom-coms for the other show there, the Cinematic Triple Threat, Chris is like, how's about I make a movie and you got to give me a wrestler and a non-wrestler in the name of the movie.
Yes.
In a romantic comedy setting.
This should actually be fun. And I enforced the one and done on both the actor and the wrestler, and I also said they couldn't do both.
So there you go.
Had to be one or the other. You could choose which one you wanted to utilize.
So.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's hear some rom-coms.
Freddie Prinze Jr. and Becky Lynch star in Chico and the Man.
Nice. That's a good one. That's points.
That's 100 points to me.
To Dan Peck.
I was like,
right?
Scott Hall and Becky Lynch. Shit, they're both wrestlers.
Chico and the Man, yo.
And I was like, how can I do it? And I was like, well, how can I do it without doing... Freddie Prinze Jr. does his dad's old... And I don't know, just say it. Just say it. So,
yeah, that's a good one. Razor and Becky as Chico and the Man would have been really clever too.
Yeah, but
that also would have gotten points if it fit the rules. But if you had played that, you would have gotten buried.
Doink and Scarlett Johansson star in Pennywise Does Valentine's Day.
Oh dear God. Pennywise Does Valentine's Day?
Pennywise Does Valentine's Day.
I mean, I get the Valentine's Day reference. And I understand incorporating Doink with Pennywise, but like, I don't know. I don't hate it. It's not getting no point. Let's do 50. We'll do 50.
That's 50 points to Glenn Kukin.
German Kukin.
The
By the way,
German.
Glenn was such a liar. He said he wasn't going to be able to play because he was afraid about not having internet access, and then he played.
Well, just remember last time his phone blew up and he was just like, "Wife, give me your phone."
That was the best. I'm like, hey, Colleen just played. It's like, no, actually, it's Glenn. Because
I was just like, oh, hey, Colleen just asked to be a part of the group. Well, it's Glenn.
That's Glenn.
And then occasionally Colleen actually does come in and does stuff.
She actually played a few times last year and got points, so
Yes.
she should play more.
Our next rom-com, Natalia and DMX starring in Where My Dogs... Where My Cats and Dogs At?
That's great. I think we just found our first earmark.
That's an earmark. 100 to Matt Hardman.
I'm gonna write that down. Matthew Hardman.
Oh, you're writing it down? Okay.
I'm writing them down, yeah.
Okay, I've been...
Yeah, so make sure you tell me who they are so I can make sure I get them.
Yep. Chateau Copley and Trish Stratus star in an out-of-this-world rom-com, District Cloud 9.
Wow. Chateau Copley. I haven't heard that name in a long time. What's he doing these days?
I don't know.
By the way, have you seen District 9?
Yes, I have.
It's amazing.
And it's amazing they did that with, like, no money.
Seriously. They did a great job with that. Okay, he's got long hair now. Let's see. Last thing he did was basically a whole bunch of stuff you haven't heard of.
Hardcore Henry. It's probably the last thing I heard that he did.
Hardcore Henry and Chappie are the last two things he was in that I've heard.
Yep.
He was in Maleficent.
Was he not?
And Old Boy. These are all the stuff that I've heard him.
As in the Josh Brolin American-made Old Boy.
He was Adrian / The Stranger. Yeah. Josh Brolin, Elizabeth Olsen, and then him. He's even credited above Samuel L. Jackson and Michael Imperioli. Christopher!
Chrissy?
Chrissy. Paulie! Christopher! All right, I like that. That gets points.
Hondo points to Jay Minger.
Jwinger. The Jwinger. All right.
He's heading for a heartbreak.
God.
Luke Gallows and Mayim Bialik star in For the Love of Nerds.
So is that when they meet in the film? Does he just point right in her face and go, "Nerd"? Oh, the start of a beautiful relationship. That's points.
That's a Hondo to Tom Dickinson.
Tommy. Hey, here's a question. How come Tommy Dickinson didn't do like Guy Fieri? That's another thing. Has there ever actually been like a guy whose gimmick was that he was full on chef? Like in mainstream wrestling, I know there's an indie guy who does that, but like,
I don't know.
have we ever had a full on chef? We need to change that. We need
And that they
chef.
work out that he's like working the freaking food cart outside before the show.
It would be great, dude. I would totally utilize that if I had it. If I for a show that was doing a chef gimmick, I would put him in the concession stand, like, and actually have him work it. Have his match go on like second or something, and then have his opponent call him out from the concession stand, and then have that be the match. And that's exactly how it booked that.
I mean, you've had in the past, he had Fat Frank making sausages outside the ECW arena before the show.
Yeah,
he actually see now. That's the thing about Jersey All Pro is that Fat Frank actually made the hot dogs that he paid his people with.
That's awesome. I got paid by a hot dog that Fat Frankie made for me.
Yeah, that's a R.I.P. Fat Frank. Anyway, our next movie, Naomi and Matt Damon star in Black Coffee, Light Cream.
Wow. I'm not sure if that's a rom-com or a porn.
It's both. The sex scenes are just explicit.
A film can do two things.
Yeah. You could do all the regular rom-com and then the love scene is just explicit.
Yeah, I like it. I'll give that points.
That's a hundo to Chris Wright.
Chris Wright. Good man, Chris Wright.
Gene Simmons and Mandy Rose star in Kiss from a Rose.
Oh, that's clever. That's really clever. Where's my coworker Justin at? He's in love with me. He likes the blondes. So when Mandy Rose first came out, I think he literally didn't know what to do with himself.
Jerk off.
Now, here's my question about this movie. Is the main song in the soundtrack what I think it's going to be?
Love Gun?
No, but... That's really good. That's really good. I'd like to earmark that one.
That's an earmark to Jeff Trelowitz.
Jeffy Trell, host of the Cinefan podcast.
Hornswoggle and Nicole Kidman star in the romantic comedy Another Shrimp on the Barbie.
Oh, God. I don't want to like this. I don't want to like anything with Hornswoggle in it. Unfortunately, I like this entry, so you will get points.
That's 100 points to Charles Hardman, who recently had a birthday.
Happy birthday, CJ!
CJ, it's your birthday. We're going to party like it's your birthday.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
Our next entry. Samuel Jackson and Steve Austin in What Love Got to Do With It?
Wow. What? What? Ah, That's kind of clever. Also kind of weird. Because now we have Steve Austin and Samuel L. Jackson apparently starring in a gay love
interpretation
love
of the Tina Turner story or whatever. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. You get points just based on the fact that you kind of went off.
That's a hundo to Michael Vaughn.
You know, even though I write down the people's names to reference for later for when I fill in the points, I still make sure I spell Michael Vaughn's name right because I still feel really bad about like the year I spent spelling it wrong.
It's Vaughan.
He never corrected me. He's like, "Oh, it didn't really bother me." I'm like, "Well, it bothers."
It bothers me because it's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, kudos to him for being cool with it, but goddamn, I feel that. So even though this document is just for me, so I can register all your points later, I still make sure I spell his name right every single freaking time. You're welcome.
Next movie is Joey Janela and Christina Hendricks in The Bad Boy and A Good Girl.
That's good. That gets points. Again, going a little off the grid there.
That's a hundo to Mike Underwood.
I didn't see anybody else playing Joey Janela for an entry. But y'all know us. We know a lot of the wrestling. We know a lot of the peoples.
We know
so
a lot of the wrestling. Ben Stiller and Sarah Logan in There's Something About Mary Dobson.
Oh my god. That's fucking clever. Ah, shit. I think that's another earmark.
That's an earmark to Adrian Cotton.
That's freaking clever. Oh my god. There's Something About Mary Dobson. Do you ever see that movie?
Not all of it.
Yeah. It's not bad, but it's also like not as classic as I think people wanted it to be. Or at least the way people talk about it.
Our Our next movie is RuPaul and Exolicious star in Black Chicks.